Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is going to be part 28 of our Snowflake Zero to Hero series. In this video, we will be talking about how you can keep your metadata history or how you can keep a track of your account uses, account related activities, how we can get an idea of the user activities, everything we can, like if my manager is reaching out to me and wants me to have a complete information about the schema, about the databases, about the accounts, and he wants me to create or perform some advanced uses analytics by creating a Snowside dashboard to address the right uses of this platform in a right way. Then we will be utilizing the account uses and the information schema. These we have around 110 views in the account user schema and around 40 views in the information schema. Both serve the different purpose, and we have to understand that when exactly you will be going for account user schema views versus the information schema views. I will be giving you a key differences in the end of these two views and also why there is a such difference between the account user schema and the information schema views count. Okay, so first let's start with the information schema. That's information schema, basically known as data dictionary, which consists the metadata information about the object which we are going to create on our account. Suppose I'm creating 5 databases, and in those 5 databases, I'm creating 20 tables, and I wanted to know all the tables list. Then I can simply go into the Snowflake account use information schema of that particular database information schema, and then even can apply some filters. This information schema does not only have these views, but along with that, it holds some table functions which provide extensive information about your usage history or your task history. Task history is not that a Snowflake task I'm talking about. In general, like whatever activities you have performed. If I'm going to create a new schema today, then I will be getting two schema by default. One is information schema, second is the public schema. So suppose if I'm going to create this ABC database and okay, let me actually drop it and then recreate it again just to show you that yes, we will be getting two schema, and I'm sure you already know it, ABC. And if I just create this database, you see here, I got these two schema, information schema and the public. When I'm going to click on the public schema, then here I get this create option. But if I click on this information schema, I won't be getting it. Why? Because this, you can see view describing the content of schema in this database, and this is only a read-only schema. That means none of the user are allowed to make any operation inside that. It is just for the Snowflake. So whenever you are going to make any changes in your account or going to create any object, it will be creating objects, or it will be like adding those records. As we can see, we have 41 views. So if let me just go to the worksheets. I'm going to open a new worksheet here. So let's just run some queries on here. So I come over here and I'm going to write select star from ABC, or like ABC we just have created, so there won't be any table. Let's just run it select star from YouTube learning dot information schema dot tables. If I run that, what I'm going to see in my output, I'm getting 60. Out of these 60, there are some table types which is coming from table schema is the information schema. That means it is also going to pull the system views. These are all system views like information schema and all. You can probably put a filtration that, okay, how we can just remove all these things. Now, if I run the show tables command, then this show tables command is going to get all the tables from all the databases. But if you run another command like select star from snowflake dot account users dot tables, This one is going to get all the tables from these databases along with some views available in that databases. As you can see, the count is 281. So if I'm going to check the base table type, here we have base tables, views, external table, metallized view, and event tables. So it's when we run the show tables command, and if you will look at the table type, there, this kind is only going to be the table and transient. But this one is going to get the list of all objects like table, which basically like external table, normal table, views, event table from all the databases. So this is the major difference. You will see that information schema is going to get the data of the database level, but this account users is going to be get the data of the account level. Now coming back to this some other points, that we have some table functions also for the historical and the users data across your accounts. So in case if I am going to write, if I just wanted to know about my task history or about my warehouse history, then we have these important table functions. Although this list is incomplete, that means there can be some other important functions which you may feel that which you will be like using in your day-to-day life. And we have other views also. You can probably go through with the documentation. But for me, these are some important because we most of the time we will be performing data loading and unloading activities. So I guess these are the some creating a pipe task, and then we wanted to know the pipe load, validate that, copy history, and want to figure out the warehouse load history or metering history. So all these things you wanted to know or wanted to check the task history and everything, then these are the table functions you can use it. So now just imagine one more thing. You have one big colony, and inside that colony you have small street. In every street there is a one big guy, or let's say very example, in every street there is one auntie who keeps the information of the entire street. So if there are five streets, then we have a five major auntie, like main auntie who has their own WhatsApp group, who gets the information from every single house, every single home, that who is doing what, and like if his son is not doing well, if his daughter is like going on parties, any all these like some random gossiping they are collecting. Now, in the main colony, there is one main group, and there all the admin of those five means all those five aunties are already there. Now they are passing this information to the main guy, or to like we can probably say the colony chairman or colony head. Okay, so this you can take this example in the same way that information schema is that one auntie who has created their own group in that street and gets the information there, and then the account user schema is the outermost or the main or the most one, which is you can consider as the president of the society, which they get the information. Now you can understand in such a way that obviously this auntie is going to take the information from the street, then he or she won't be like taking much time to retrieve that information. So all I'm trying to say is that if I'm going to create any tables, create or replace table, and suppose I'm going to create into the ABC schema, into the ABC database and public schema. When I run that, and if I'm going to run this information schema right after creating an object, here you see the 60 object, and inside that, if you will go to it, sorry, this is my bad. It should be ABC dot because we are selecting in that one. So here, if you will look at it, the table type, we have base table one. I can filter out that, and this is the customer table which we have created. But if I'm going over there, and you can basically go back into your clock, you can just find out that how many tables we were having into the account users table. The count was 281. Now, because I have added and I have created another table, so ideally this count should be 282. So if I run that, the count is still 281. Even if you're going to filter out like such a way that table name like customer and table schema, or not from the table schema, we can even go from the table catalog, which is table catalog is nothing but a database. Even if you're going to search from there, then you won't be getting it. Now, very important thing is to access this account user schema, you should be having an account admin rights, or account admin should be able to give you this right, probably like security admin or sysadmin. You have to raise the request to the account admin so that you can query this account user schema. If you're going to try out with any custom defined role, let's say I'm going with this because in the last video we have created the CCP role, and if I'm going to type like this, select star from account users dot tables, you see the schema does not exist or not authorized. So make sure you're using an account admin or a security admin role which do have the access on top of it. Okay, so this is saying that no warehouse exists, and in fact it's giving an error. So you're going to get you're going to get the permission from the account user. Now, so that is for sure. One point we have figured out from here, that there will be latency in the account user schema. So that is one another difference. That first, information schema is going to hold the information of database metadata related informations. We will be having a couple of table functions also, which is going to be very important. However, the account user schema is basically shows you detailed information about how your Snowflake account is being utilized, and being utilized from user activity to the resource consumption. So in Snowflake, we have account users and as well as the reader account user schema. And that depends if you have created any reader account. So all the reader account association, like all the activities from the reader account association, will be visible in the reader account users. In account user schema, views that displays all object metadata and the uses matrix for your account. Let me suppose there are multiple use case to develop out of account user schema. Suppose I wanted to know the warehouse and storage credit uses uh, by monthly, by weekly. I wanted to know which user and roles use most of the credit. I wanted to know the overall storage overall gigabytes, like the stories and all. I wanted to know every single sections wise, means like how much we have active bytes, how much we have fail safe and time travel. Now the top 10 longest running queries, understanding what type of queries are getting executed on system mostly, like means either we running update, insert, or what. Okay, how many databases we have, and can we like archive some of the data, can we remove some data, and then identify some login errors, and so many other informations you can get it from this account user schema. So as long as you have the information, then yes, we can go into the Snowflake, use the Snowflake database here, which is basically provided by whenever you're going to create an account only. This is consider, you can consider as a system database. And here we have account user schema as well as the reader account users. So this is because we haven't talked about data sharing. So I'm not going in this. I'll come into this account user schema. If you will look at the views there, we will having around 110 views, and these number of views can be again changed, depends on the any functions if Snowflake is going to add. Now in this, if you will expand it, and this view does not holds the metadata of the database related information, also as well as it holds account level objects like roles you have created, and the tags, the masking policies, the warehouse related informations, all these things, login history, wait histories, and so many things. Okay, like my personal favorite, and I'll say I'll recommend you that if you're going to get all the statics whatever I have mentioned about, like logging errors, your complete wanted to know how many which type of queries being executed, you want to find out the credit uses, YTD, MTD, warehouse credit consumption, you wanted to find out all these things, then we will be using query history. This is very important. Then next we will be going for table storage matrix. This is going to give you any complete information about your tables. And if you have the storage uses, this is going to give you the information about the stages also, as well as the tables. Then we have task history, the users, and this warehouse meeting history, which is going to give you an like complete idea of the credit consumption and all. So if you look at the data preview, this is going to show you the cost or the credit associated about every sessions and all, like how many credit used every day. Okay, this warehouse ID is going to tell you about the warehouse name and all. Then you can utilize, you can basically perform your aggregations and find out that how many credit we have consumed. Okay, so this one we have warehouse meeting history and others. Along with that, you can use basically some other like databases, file systems, and the grant to roles and grant to users. In suppose there is a one scenario where you wanted to list down all your users or the roles who have the access of how many databases, how many tables. You wanted to list down everything and then wanted to check whether this person really need the access or not. So in simple word, like whatever the use case comes in your picture, comes in your real time scenario, and you have to implement, just directly rush to the account user schema. Okay, now next thing we have the key differences between the account users and the information schema one. And actually I would love to show you on this query only. So when we have executed this one, that say select star from account users tables, it holds the information of the dropped object, like means the deleted object. Even if I have deleted this table, then also it is going to hold the information. If you'll scroll to the right, then we have this whether is deleted or not. Last DDL when it be performed. Now you may not, you won't be able to see this. If I read the deleted and if I run the same command here, and if I scroll to the right, there we don't get this much information. It's giving us the idea whether it is iceberg, is dynamic, is high, not. It is also giving me last DDL and all, but not giving the deleted information. So account user schema holds the dropped object also information. Second, the latency usually for most of the views is from 45 minutes to 3 hours. However, there are a couple of views in the account user schema which holds the latency even up to 24 hours. So if you will search the account user schema into the Snowflake, then there you will be finding a couple of the views who hold the latency more than 24 hours. Even in the main different section, they have mentioned 45 to 3 hours. But if you will scroll down, there you see this application daily usage history, the latency is 24 hours. There are other views also which have around 6 hours or 12 hours. Let me show you some of the lists which have more than 6 hours or 12 hours. If I get some, yeah. So this one, Snowpipe streaming file migration history is of 12 hours. 6 hours we have table DML history, table pruning history. So I mean that you can basically check from this documentation. So the major difference is the latency. Second, it holds information of the dropped object also. Now the third is the retention period. In account user schema, the retention period is 1 year. However, in the information, it varies from view or up to table functions, generally from 7 days to 6 months. Next is the account user schema. Okay, there is actually, yes. This one is again very great. I hope you remember when I was giving you some insights on the zero copy clone. So if I create a table, create or replace table ABC clone, and I'm going to create from a table which already holds some data, some good data. This AWS customer load. Now, if I'm going to clone it, what the clone documentation said that when I'm going to clone any table and do not make any changes, then Snowflake is not going to charge even a single byte of the space from the user. But if you will look now, if you will run this, select start from this ABC information schema tables, you will be finding there is a table type 2 base table. One is the customer. If I scroll to the right, this row count is 30 and the byte is 3072. For this customer, because there is no record, so there is byte is 0. So ideally, this byte should be 0, right? I mean, why we are having a 3072 byte? Because the documentation said it is only and only going to create a separate metadata into the cloud service layer, but going to reference the same storage or same micro partitions. So this here, you're going to check bytes, but if you are going into the table storage metrics, when you will be running this, select star from Snowflake dot account users dot table storage metrics. And in fact, you can type this where table catalog equal to ABC. Although this is not, this won't be present here because it's going to take 45 to 180 minutes. You can probably wait it and you can test it. And if, oh, that's fine. Okay, this customer is present, not that one. So it's going to take few minutes, probably like 5 to 10 minutes to show me that tables, which we have cloned, like this ABC table. So if you will look at it and we're going to scroll to the right, just focus on these active bytes. The Snowflake actually take reference, or Snowflake actually consume the credit from these active byte, time channels byte, and the failsafe byte. It club it, it sum it, and then send it that okay, that how much of the data you are storing daily wise, and then bills, then generate the bill for you. Okay, so I hope you have a good understanding of the account users and information schema, because this is very important interview questions and everyone will be like asking. And most of my mentees, most of my students, they say that, sir, we have been like most of the time asked about the difference between the account users and the information schema, or they change the questions that can you please tell me the important views of the account user schema which you have used, or if I wanted to get the complete information about my users my Snowflake account user statics, then how would I be able to create it, or how would I be able to create my Snowflake dashboard? For that, we just have to go for account user scheme. Okay, so thank you for watching. That's it for today. I hope you had a good time, and please drop your comments if you like it. And in case you need any other topic related to the Snowflake, feel free to reach out to me.